What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Packerman, and welcome to the first episode of the Fuel here on this Monday, July 20th. Since I'm a little bit late to the party here, I'm just going to go ahead and get into the review of the 2020 All-Star Race at Bristol, which was a race that we all expected and was highly anticipating, but it was kind of and some of the things that they did, like the underglow, was a bit disappointing. It wasn't really what we thought it was going to be. But let's go ahead and get into this real quick. So this is going to be a super short review, basically. So All-Star Open, Stage 1 winner was Eric Almirola, Stage 2 winner was William Byron, Stage 3 winner was Matt DiBenedetto, which means that he was the winner of the Open, and the fan vote winner was Clint Boyer. So here's how the stages broke down for the All-Star race. Stage 1 was 55 laps, Stages 2 and 3 35 laps, and Stage 4 15 laps. So, Stage 1, Alex Bowman drew the pole position and leads the field to the green. Bowman leads lap 1, but Blaney moves underneath and takes the lead on the second lap. By the way, I'm not counting any changes here because this is an exhibition race. Kent's is stuck in the outside lane. Harvick gets by Bowman for second. Then we have our first caution on lap 9. When Kurt Busch spins in turns 1 and 2 after contact from Brad Keselowski. Blaney leads on the restart. Matty D bounces off the wall but keeps going. Logano and Elliott start fighting for fourth, with Elliott winning that battle. We have a battle for 6 between Jones, Kez, and Almirola. Jones and Almirola start coming through the field. Harvick was closing the gap to Blaney for the lead, but Ryan Blaney wins Stage 1, even though it doesn't really matter because they're not awarding cash for stage wins anymore. Everyone comes in for service and Harvick wins the race off pit road. So he leads the start of Stage 2. We have our second caution on lap 57 when Ryan Newman spins off turn 4 on his own accord. Harvick leads on the restart. Elliott blows by Harvick to take the lead as the Ford did not get going all that well. Harvick starts closing the gap back to Elliott, but runs out of time, and Chase Elliott wins stage number 2. Chase Elliott was obviously a pretty good part of this race. Everybody but Blaney comes in for service, and Keselowski wins the race off with just 2 tires. So lots of different strategies going on in this race. So Stage 3, also 35 laps. Blaney leads the start of Stage 3. Kez challenges Blaney but gets loose and gets put in a 3-wide situation with Elliott and Harvick. But is able to hang on. He starts trying to diamond the corners on his teammate to try to take the lead away. Elliott nudges Keselowski out of the way for the second position. Kyle Busch nudges Logano out of the way for 5th. Elliott gets underneath of Blaney and takes over the race lead. Kyle Busch are on the outside of Harvick for the 4th position. We have a battle for second between Blaney, Keselowski, and Kyle Busch. And Chase Elliott wins stage number 3. Half of the field comes in for service. So we get our 4th and final stage, which was 15 green flag laps, but there were only 2 cautions in this All-Star race, and Stage 4 was clean and green, and it went by fast. So Elliott led the start of Stage 4. Kyle Busch got underneath of Blaney for second. Had lots of 3 wide in the back, but no serious issues. Kyle Busch starts trying to do the diamonding in the corners, basically going into the corner low, drifting up high, and then cutting it back down low. It's called diamonding the corners. Catch Elliott, but runs out of time, and Chase Elliott wins the 2020 All-Star race. Basically like father, like son, because the last time the All-Star race was at a different track other than Charlotte was actually the 2nd edition. I thought Bristol was the first time it was, but they were actually at Atlanta, I think in like 1986. It was either 86 or 87, and Chase Elliott's dad, Bill Elliott, ended up winning the All-Star race that year. How do those two just keep, I mean, it's kind of like junior and senior, matching accomplishments in some way, shape, or form. Because, I mean, it took 99 starts for Bill Elliott to win his first Cup Series race, and it was on a road course at Riverside. It takes Chase 99 starts to get his first win on a road course, although it was at Watkins Glen in this case. And then here, they both win the All-Star race when it's not at Charlotte. Wrap your head around that shit. I mean, next thing we know, if this trend continues, Chase Elliott's going to be a Daytona 500 champion sooner rather than later, and probably a Cup champion before too long. So there's that. But my final rating for the 2020 All-Star Race, I mean, it was a clean and green race, but it wasn't really as exciting as the Bristol race we saw about a month and a half ago. I mean, was it better than a lot of the other fair that we've seen in the last couple weeks? Absolutely. So my final rating for the All-Star Race, I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, it was an above average race. It was alright. And considering the past couple races, that's not exactly a bad thing. That's going to do it for this review. I realize that it is super short, probably the shortest review I've ever done on the fuel. But I mean, it's the All-Star Race. I mean, and really the only thing that matters is the winner and the $1 million that came with it. So there you go. But I'll be back in a little bit to do the review for the Texas race, which was actually kind of better than I thought it was, but still had its problems. But we'll get to that when we get to it. But thank you very much for watching as my Xbox decides to talk to me. And until next time, this is the Packer Man signing out. See you later.
You better like and subscribe or face the consequences. You have been warned.